Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. Just move me up a little bit. How are we all today? Today is Monday, the 2nd of August. So we're into August. Isn't that great? Into this 2021 year. And it's so great to be here. I am coming live from Sydney. As most of you know, I live on the Gold Coast and I have been in Sydney for the past 6 weeks, and it's been an interesting time. It is a time that has been of great healing to me, and I think it's great. As a Beyond Lost expert, it's really important for us to deep dive into all of our loss events in our lives. And if you've been on the journey with me for a while, you understand that there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And it's important that we understand that we live a life where we go from love to loss and then hopefully back to love. But the fact that most of us don't understand that there are over 40 different loss events in our lives, we don't understand, well, lack of loss intelligence really does at times put us into avoidance and suffering of silence, which has a massive impact on our health, quality of life, our relationships, all areas of our life. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I assist people to move beyond any kind of loss and create their better everyday life. Just a sec, I'm just going to take a quick sip. So thanks for being here. Or comment, hi Libby. Great to see you in Brisbane. Welcome to lockdown, I guess, is the best way to say it. I've been in lockdown here more or less since I arrived in Sydney 6 weeks ago. So I certainly can feel what you're going through. Let me just push myself up a little bit. No, it doesn't want to stay up there, but anyway, I'll push myself up. Okay, excuse me. I seem to have a bit of a cough today. So hello, Mama G, great to see you. Yep, from New Zealand. And yeah, it is LOL, isn't it? But anyway, do you know what? There's so many things that come to you from lockdown. And it's really important. It really does come back to your attitude, your perspective, the way of looking at things. And, for a long time now, I do have a very positive outlook. And I do tend to seek the positive things that have happened, in any event that's in your life, especially the events that are in your life that are outside your circle of influence. And it's important for us, excuse me, I don't know what's coming over me. I must have spirit around me. I've never really been affected like this before, but I really do just feel really in a lot of overwhelm at the moment. And my voice has been affected. So I'm going to put it down to spirit. I've seen so many other people do that. Maybe I'm guided to share with you this little thing that, at the moment in Sydney lockdown, you're allowed to go to one person's place, especially if you're by yourself. And that's what I am at the moment. I am by myself. I am actually staying in my girlfriend's ex-husband's apartment. He's in southeast Queensland. And so I'm in his apartment. We're sort of in like opposite states to where we normally live. And so I'm allowed to go out and mix with my daughter, who is in Sydney as well. And the fact that I was actually going to her place for dinner last night, and because I'm allowed to, and I had this strongest urge not to drive there. It was so strong that I cancelled dinner, and she wasn't happy about it because she'd already cooked dinner, and I had cancelled. It was just as I was putting my shoes on to leave that I got this strongest feeling, do not drive tonight, do not drive tonight. And she wasn't happy with me, and I have apologized, but I totally understand it. But the thing that I want to share with you is for us to actually be really in true to who you are and true to the feelings that you get in your body. Like I stood up to put my shoes on and my knee buckled, and I straight away thought, what's that about? Because your body is always giving you signs. And normally we're so busy that we don't notice signs. But in these lockdowns, we are given the privilege of giving ourselves time where we do start to notice many, many different things that are going in. So, hi, TK. Loved lockdowns. It was a time for rest for myself, but understood while others can be stressed. Totally. Right, Karen, I do not give spiritual readings. I am a beyond loss expert and I help people to move beyond any kind of loss. And there are over 40 different loss events. Let me just share this with you so you can all see. There are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And here is a list of all of them. I'm going to go full screen on this just so you understand what I do. Happy for you to hang around, Karen, but I also totally understand that if you choose to move on, I will not be offended. So here we are. We have this list of 40 different types of losses that can affect our lives. And it's massive. And it's massive because of our general lack of loss intelligence that most of us do not have. We do not understand, what is actually going on in our in our lives when loss comes to visit. We haven't been taught how to do it. We end up in avoidance, suffering in silence, and it affects all areas of our lives, our health, our work, our relationships, our financial situation. So that's what I do, is I help people to do that. But in saying that, Karen, I also do one card each week when I come on at Monday, New South Wales time at noon. So, and today I drew a card. Let me get up the card deck so everyone knows, which is the Marcia Quinton's guided spiritual guidance cards, channeled spiritual guidance card by Marcia Quinton. They're amazing cards and I highly recommend them. And today I drew this one, which is the Seeker. Now, this is a message for all of us, not just me, for everyone who watches this and sees this. And hang around, because today we are going to deep dive into the fourth of the 5 agreements. So the last 3 weeks, I have deep dived into the first 3. And now we're going to go into the fourth. And then next week, we're going to do the 5th. So let's have a look at this. So the card is called the Seeker, number 20, the Seeker. So let me read it to you and we can go from there. Opportunity awaits the Seeker. If the Seeker card has brushed against your life today, and it has all of us who are watching this live or later in replay, then you're aware of a transformation that is about to take place. Look into your heart and know that change is ready and waiting. If you are looking for a solution or a new direction, you may be seeking knowledge and wisdom from an unfamiliar source. Be open and available to their wisdom. Your abilities and path will be shown to you. Seek and you will see the direction that lies ahead. You must choose to transform or the opportunity to pass. So in the comments, let me know what this Seeker card means to you. Now, when I was shuffling, 2 more cards shuffled out at the same time. And don't you just love it when that happens? Because you know that you are being guided to share more information. And it's funny because I have had these cards come up previously especially when I've been on this platform. So I'm going to share them with you. And then let me know in the comments which card resonates more with you, the Seeker or the next 2. But I'm going to take, oops, what have I done? I'm just going to, I'm just going to go back in here. Right. So, yes. Okay. So sorry. I just seem to be having computer errors today, but that's okay. What cards you have missed, what you are said by. I cannot adapt the change happily. I just need the heads up. Can you put up what cards you have missed? Okay, I haven't missed any cards. I'm not sure what you're saying, Karen. So this is the first one, the Seeker. I haven't read the next 2 yet, so you haven't mixed any more. So I'm going to read them now. So the next one is the Council of Souls, number 2. So let's see if this one resonates more with you than the Seeker. The Council of Souls has called upon you to serve. This is a blessing from the Council who have observed your journey through life. They have said what you are capable and understand what lies deep within your heart. They are aware of your mind brimming with questions and seeking the solutions to all that is around you, I should say. They have watched you struggle to follow the true calling of your heart, yet they know of your power and capabilities as a light worker for humanity. They have reached out and touched you with their gift of love and power to help you along your life's journey. So that's the second one, which is the Council of Souls, which is actually in a really amazing, I'm going to put it up there so you can actually see it. So that is really an amazing card. I just love that. And the first one was the Seeker. So see how beautiful the Seeker is as well. Now the third one, and I don't normally do 3, is called Prayer, number 43. How beautiful is that? Open your heart in prayer and awaken to the Creator. Prayer is a source of comfort and pathway to the divine light. Seek to enter in silent prayer and speak from the heart and soul to this infinite wisdom. Enter into this silence within and commune with the divine, where all wonders of the universe will unfold. Prayer is the offering of love when seeking support, even for others in life and for yourself. Never leave this quiet devotion without drawing from this a comfort knowing that the divine is with you. Okay, so how awesome is that? They are amazing cards. So, Amy, the third one comes with you. Efferson, oh my God, that is so beautiful. They are all beautiful cards. Amy, you may have just come on. Was it Amy? No, Ashley. Ashley, I don't draw cards. I just draw group cards for everyone. I am a Beyond Loss expert, mentor, author, reader. Yes. And Efroncini. I hope that's how I say it. Efroncini. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Beautiful name, by the way. Do you know what it means? I'd love to know what your name means. Okay. So, Karen, what cards am I using? Are these cards channeled spiritual guidance cards by Marcia Quinton? Quinton. If you type in Marcia Quinton, she has her own website where you can purchase a pack from them. And they're absolutely beautiful cards. Every one of them is amazing. And what I really like about them is the fact that you don't need a book. You just draw the card and then you read on the other side of the card what they're about. I get nothing from people going and purchasing cards from Marcia. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoy it and I hope you love it. Okay, so now we're going to get on with what today's little Beyond Loss Loving Life with Karen Chaston is all about. And I love coming here each week because I love to help people to understand that, you know, we have so many loss events in our lives. You know, with over 40 different ones, we're all going to have numerous ones. We're all going to have different ones. We haven't really been educated on how to move on our losses, which means we're not even able sometimes to be there for other people because we haven't firsthand experienced what they're going through. And life can sometimes make you want to feel that the losses you've had in your life are greater than the losses that someone else has had. And there is no hierarchy in loss. And it's really important for us all to understand that, you know, a death of a loved one or a death of a child, it doesn't trump a divorce or a job loss or a pet loss. It's important for us to all to understand that loss is a natural part of our life journey. And it's through our losses that we learn and grow so much. There are so many lessons in us not having all of these beautiful, loving, and ideal scenarios in our life. And, you know, I like to think of life just like a heartbeat, like our heartbeat monitor, where it's going up and down and up and down. And which is our life. Love to loss, love to loss, love to loss. And if we think about a heartbeat monitor, and I'm pretty sure we've all seen one, we've all seen enough movies with them in there. And what happens? We have this straight line, and we all know what that straight line means. It means that we've passed on, that we're dead. So imagine our life if we didn't have the ups and downs. It would be like we were dead. So we wouldn't have anything to look forward to. We wouldn't have these amazing events that we are looking forward to because we know that they're coming up. And they're normally the joyous occasions, and they're the ups. But of course, none of us want the downs, but it's a matter of our life is a journey, and we require the downs so we appreciate the ups so much more, so that we can learn from them, and we can learn from ups and downs as much as anything. It's not just the ups that we learn from, it is the downs. Actually, when I look back at all of the losses in my life, I have learned so much more about myself, about who I would like to be, who I don't want to be, the things that I want to stop doing or start doing or continue to do. And that's what this journey is all about. So each week we talk about different subjects. And for the last 3 weeks, we have been talking about Don Miguel Ruiz's The 5 Stages of Grief. Sorry, not the 5 Stages of Grief, the 5 Agreements. And his agreements are amazing. And I read this book early. I think I read it like early, say 2015, something like that. But I didn't embrace it. Actually, earlier than that, I reckon, before my son even passed away in 2011, I read the book because I had a little CD of it, and it was an amazing thing. But when I read the 4 agreements, and then he wrote another book which included the 5th one, and I reread the 5th one just recently, and here it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Here it is. Here, the 5th agreement, and I highly recommend that you get it. And once again, I don't get anything from recommending this book, so I just want to make that really clear. But when I reread it, and he said that the more you read the 4 agreements, the more you will get from it, because each time you read it, you're a different person. And you will always be at a different level of whether it's your spiritual development or your career development or what it is. So you will always embrace these concepts in a different manner. So let's review what we've spoken about for the past 3 weeks. And I just need to get that up. Let me go here. I'm not having much fun with technology today. So as you can see here, the first 3 agreements were, the first one was be impeccable with your word. The second one, don't take anything personally. And the third was don't make assumptions. Okay. So that's the 3 that we've already discussed. And to go into a little bit more detail about them. So be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself about others, or gossip about others, right? Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Isn't that amazing? So every time you speak, it's towards truth and love. It's not about bringing yourself down or bringing other people down. It's always about knowing that what you're about to say is that you're bringing truth and love into the world. Isn't that beautiful? And Efrancini, that's a really cool, a wonderful book. I read it again. Don't take anything personally and don't make assumptions. Wow, this is good. Thank you, Efrancini. I'm so glad that you're finding this entertaining today and you're resonating with it so much. The second one, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Isn't that beautiful? Like, I just think that is so amazing. Hi, Sandra. Great to see you here. And then, of course, the third one is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your whole life. Right. And now we're going to go into the fourth one. So, what do you think the fourth one is? So, as we go along, I would really love your comments, obviously. So, get involved and share what you're feeling and thinking as I bring the fourth agreement in of the 5 agreement. And yes, next week we will have the next agreement. Hi, Kerry. Great to see you here as always. So, the fourth agreement is always do your best. Now, I'm going to ask some questions before we go on to the next one. So, do you feel you always do your best? Are you aware when you're doing your best? How do you feel about it? Let's have some discussion. I'd really love for you to actually say, every day I wake up and I am so excited about the day, and all day long, as I flow through my day, wearing all of my many different hats, and let's face it, we all wear many, many, many different hats. So let's actually figure it out. Let's look at, are you always doing your best in every single role that you play in every day? So I'll wait a little couple of seconds. I'll have a little sip of my drink because I've been talking for a little while I wait. And I'd love for you to let me know, do you always do your best? Do you feel you always do your best? Or do you feel that some days you're not capable of doing your best? You don't feel the best. Or life is, got you into a mood that you just can't get out of. Or do you feel that you're doing something that everyone else wants you to do? So therefore, how can I possibly be excited about what I want to do? Because I'd rather be doing something else. There's so many different scenarios in our lives that it's really good for us to sit back and actually look at it and actually say, are we always doing our best? Okay. Doesn't seem like everyone's commenting. So I will continue on then to what this is about. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. Now, this isn't just letting you off your hook. This is actually saying it's actually going to change from moment to moment. Some days you do better than others, and that's right, Kerry. Some days you do better than others. But this is what this agreement is always about, that some days you will do better than others because it will change from moment to moment. And that's why it's good for us to understand that the way we feel really does make a difference. It will be different when you feel healthy as opposed to when you feel sick. This isn't an out. This is for us to be aware that on the day that you're not feeling your best, you can still do your best. It's just a lower standard to what it is when you are feeling healthy. Now, if you are continually feeling sick every day, it is about you actually taking the time to deep dive into why is it that I feel this way when I do, not always feel my best? Why is it that I feel when I'm about to do, say, look after my kids or my grandkids, I always feel sick and I just can't be bothered and I don't have enough energy. I feel drained. Whereas if I was going to go out with my girlfriends for lunch, I would be energized and I'd feel amazing and stuff like that. So it is about you starting to deep dive into understanding I always want to do my best. So what is it that's stopping me from feeling into what I'm about to do and stopping me from actually doing my best? It really is that simple. And when we are aware that and we seek to understand, then we can start to realize that under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regrets. Now, that's what this discussion is really about. Self-judgment, self-abuse, and regrets. So if things are coming up in your life and you feel that you're traveling through life and you feel that you are continually judging yourself or abusing yourself, whether it's mentally, physically, and self-abuse can be something as simple as the food that you're putting into your body, the fact that you're not exercising, the fact that you're not, aerobically breathing for a little time each day. It could be the fact that you have regrets over whatever has gone on in your life, and therefore you continually can't see the point in going above and beyond. So it's really important that we always start to look at the things that we're doing and asking ourselves, am I doing with what I'm about to do today? Am I about to do my best? Or am I going to half show up? Am I going to have my mind elsewhere and I'll just physically be there? Like they've even created a word for it, like absenteeism. Like seriously? So that the fact that a word has been created about it, it means that a lot of us are just phoning in. We're not showing up and we're not doing our best. We're just sort of distracted, or we're in the self-judgment, the self-abuse, the regrets, and we just got that sort of continually on repeat. And we're realizing that we are not living and loving our lives. And that's what this show is all about. It's to help people to move beyond any kind of loss so that they can create their better everyday life. And until someone else may give us another perspective, we can just go through life living in this Groundhog Day days. Like, believe me, I lived in it for way too long. When I was in my corporate life, I thought, oh my God, look how successful I am. I've done it, I've got the career, I've got the amazing salary, I've got the house, the car, the kids, the overseas holidays. I am just kicking ass. I'm so successful. But you know what? I had this constant thing inside me. It was like it was on repeat going, when are you going to be fulfilled? When are you going to start loving life? When are you going to start doing the things that you love to do? When are you going to stop putting everyone else before you? When are you going to start to say no to everyone else so that you can start to say yes to you? And my son had to pass. And even then, I didn't say no to everyone else. I just carried on. Because isn't that what we do? We just give it time and we just keep busy and we just go on and on and on and on. And then my redundancy came. And that was the best thing that ever happened. I was devastated. Don't get me wrong. I love my job and I was so good at my job and I was always doing my best at my job. That's why I was continually getting promoted and given those amazing salaries because I was so good at it. But I wasn't very good at looking after me. I was doing my best for everyone else, but not for myself. I was abusing myself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I was numb. I was numbing myself for food and alcohol and working too much and then coming home and then just vegetating on the couch because I had nothing left to give. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound like similar things to what you're going through? It's really important for us to take the time to stop. That's the first step in my 5-step process on how to move beyond loss, is to stop. That's how you come into acceptance, but you have to stop. You have to stop and you have to deep dive into whatever has happened in your life so that you can look at what does it mean for you now? What does it mean for you now in all areas of your life? And in the Chaston Center model, there's 9 areas of life. So you got to deep dive into all of them and you're going to go, what does this mean to me mentally? What does this mean for me physically, emotionally, spiritually? What does it mean for my relationships? What does it mean to me in society? What does it mean for me in my environment, whether it's a physical environment or the nature? What does it mean for me in my career? What does it mean for me feeling about my career? What does it mean for me financially? What does it mean for me? Is this going to put me into some sort of emotional turmoil in regards to my finances? It's about you understanding all of that so that you can then say, right, what does it mean for me going forward? And what is it that's required for me to be able to close that gap and come to where I need to be, where I can say, at the end of my time, and you look back over your whole life and you say, I don't have any regrets. I lived my best life because I got out of my own way. I embraced these concepts, and there are so many different concepts that I actually call them our gems, because our gems are what helps us to see a different perspective, to see a better way of doing things, an easier way of doing things. We are all so privileged to live in a world of information. Sure, sometimes this information puts us into overwhelm because we are just swamped by the information. But the beautiful thing about it is that we have this information at our fingertips that if we feel that there is even a little skerrick of our life that we're not happy with, we can change it. We have the choice. We have everything at our fingertips, that all we require is maybe some new beliefs or a new process or a new way of looking at things, a new perspective. And we can very easily create that new perspective in our life, which will assist us to get to where we want to be down that road, where we can go, wow, look how far I've come. Look how far I have traveled, that I have just moved so amazingly from where I am or where I was to where I am now, where I am actually sitting and loving my life and jumping out of bed each day. And I'm always doing my best because I know that everything that I am doing is fulfilling me in whatever area of my life. It is enhancing me to become that person who I came here to be. Those 3 cards that I drew earlier, they are actually quite amazing. If you have a look at these 3 cards, right, which is the Seeker, the Council of Souls, and the Prayer. And most people who have been on here before, they know that normally I only ever draw 1 card, but they jumped out. The 3 of them jumped out today, and it's, the Council of Souls. You have been chosen. You've been chosen to listen to this today, to just take from it whatever you require in your life and discard the rest. It may only be a word. It may be a sentence. It may be a completely new way of looking at things. But it's really important for us to sit back and deep dive into us and say, what was it that Karen said today that really resonated with me? And why did it resonate me so much? Is it because I require some healing in that area? Is it because it's exactly what I've been thinking about and it's just been confirmed? Or is it just a completely new concept that It sort of scares me, but I want to know more about it, because that's the beauty of the world that we live in. So often I may be watching a movie and a phrase will jump out from it, and I think, what is it about that phrase? And I'll write it down, and then I'll, may write a blog on it, or I may include it in a chapter in my next book, or whatever it is, or I may put it into a program. It may be an idea that just germinates and comes, blossoms into this amazing thing. But it really always does come down to you taking the time to make sure that you're always doing your best. So let's go back now to where we were, because it's really important for you to start asking those questions. Are you having self-judgment in any area of your life? Are you self-abusing in any area of your life? And are you, living your life where that when you get to the end of your life, you will have regrets? Because it's important for you to continually ask yourself these questions, because we're all here on a journey. We're all here for a reason. We're all here to sort through whatever comes up in our lives. And it's normally the losses. It could be a divorce. It could have been a loss of a child, or a loss of a loved one, or a loss of a great friend that you're just not really coping very well with. It could be a job loss, the fact that your hours have been reduced, the fact that your savings are dwindling and you're starting to really wonder about what's going to happen next. There is so much going on in our world at the moment that it's not easy. It's not easy in any way. But the beauty thing is that there is always people who are here to assist you to live a life that you live and love each and every day. And that's why I do what I do, because, I've had so many traumatic events in my life, and I didn't like the fact that we have in our society a huge lack of loss intelligence. Now, people go, a lack of loss intelligence. What is that? Well, what is intelligence? Intelligence is where we acquire and then we start to utilize this knowledge and skills that we have acquired. So intelligence is based on obviously a lot of different subjects. But if you look around, we don't have a lot of intelligence around loss. And this is why we've created a lot of these cliches. These cliches where we say things like, just get over it. Just give it time. Just, keep busy, or don't be upset by it. Or are you still upset about that? Haven't you moved on from that yet? It's because of our lack of loss intelligence that we have actually bought all of this in, these cliches and these beliefs that, it should take this amount of time and not a day longer, and not even allowing for people to be different. It could be that they want to be shorter or they want to be longer. It doesn't really matter. This is the amount of time and that's it. And of course we go and, we don't know what to say. We stumble through, I'm sorry for your loss. As opposed to, don't have any idea what to say to you. I've never been through what you're going through, but I'd love to be able to be here for you in any way. And even if it's just to listen as you talk. Listening is an art in itself. And when you listen from the heart, there is no need to respond. There is no need to say whatever comes into your head, which is more than likely going to be something about you, not about them. because we're uncomfortable in the uncomfortable. But once we get comfortable in it, we can sit there and just allow the person to speak. And sometimes that's all they need, because it's through the speaking that we can allow our emotions to do what they're meant to do, which is energy emotions, to allow them to move through whatever it is. So if you do find yourself in a situation like that, just do your best and be open and honorable, honest, be vulnerable, and just say, I have no idea what to say. And people will go, yeah, you're right. No one does. And that's okay. And then someone else will hear it and they'll go, oh, wow, it's okay for me to say, I don't know what to say in an uncomfortable situation. Cool. That's going to be my go-to always. Because once we are actually all saying, I have no idea what to say in this, guess what happens? We all start to then have honest conversations where we can actually say, wow, we don't have to be the perfect person with the perfect response all the time. And that's what life's about. It's all about us being open and vulnerable and realizing, these amazing four, of these 5 agreements that I've been sharing over the last, well, I guess 4 weeks now. This is our 4th week. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Like, if we all just had these as our little go-to, this is how I'm going to live my life, which is obviously what Don Miguel Ruiz always desired. It's just amazing how easy life becomes, because we're always saying how we feel, and we can voice it because we're not there to bring anyone else down or to abuse them. We're just being impeccable with our word. And then, of course, when other people are saying things to us, we don't take it personally. We know that it comes from who they are and where they are at the moment. And we understand that, it's got nothing to do with us. And we don't make assumptions. We don't assume that, this is what's going on in their life. We find the courage to ask those questions, because it's through asking those questions that we can totally understand everything that's going on, and always do our best. So we're coming towards the end of the show. Here it is, nearly 45 minutes in. So it's I really would love to know if you have any questions around these, or if there's anything else that you'd like to know. Next week we'll be going on to the 5th one, and the final one, and then obviously after that I will come up with a scenario. Now next week, I'm not 100% sure I'll be here next week, but if I am, I am, and if I'm not, I'm not. I'll be here the day after. So most of you know that I normally live on the Gold Coast, but at the moment I am in Sydney. And depending on what happens, my plan is actually to probably travel back to the Gold Coast next Monday. And yes, I will have to go into 2 weeks hotel lockdown, but I've been away from my family for, by then it will be 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks. So I'm very conscious of, yes, I have a family in Sydney, but I also have a family on the Gold Coast. And, my husband is, when are you coming back? Which I totally understand. And I'm missing him obviously as well. So if I am traveling next week, I will come on a day later on Tuesday, or I may even delay it to the following week. But don't worry, I will definitely be doing a show on the 5th agreement, no matter what time it is, whether it's next week or whether it's at another time. It will definitely be happening. So I just want to put that out there. Now, I'd like to ask you all a question of where you are at the moment. Like, how are you feeling? With all of this information in the world coming at you, where are you at in your life? Are you feeling great? Are you not feeling great? In so many scenarios, we tend to lose ourselves, especially when you look at when we get into self abuse and self judgment and obviously avoidance. Have you started to actually, wonder where you are in your life? I always love that great saying, which I think originally I heard from Robert Holden, an English philosopher. And he actually said, if you feel there is something missing in your life, maybe that something is you. And it's really good for us all to go, is there something missing in my life? Am I the one missing in my life? Am I always saying yes to everyone else and no to myself? Or am I actually, being open and honest and living my life true to me and doing the things that really enhance, me and me moving forward and creating all of my hopes, dreams, and aspirations? Because so often we forget that there is no expiry date on our birth certificate, that we don't know when our last day will be. And when we continually put things off to another day, we are never really going to maybe even achieve all of the things that we keep putting off to another day. So it's important for us to reconnect to who we are and to take a sip when we need a sip. But more importantly, it's really important to reconnect to our, which is why I'd like to talk to you now about my Revitalize Your Life program. And here's the link to the program. And so Revitalize Your Life is this amazing program that I created earlier this year. Actually started creating it late last year, but it was early this year that I put it out there. And it's a 45-day series where you can literally deep dive into you. It's all about you. And each day for 45 days, you will get a different activity, which takes no more than 45 minutes to do. And it's about you having a new perspective, a new awareness, a new understanding, a reconnection to you, which is why it's called Revitalize Your Life, because it assists you to know the things you don't know, to start to desire the things that maybe you'd sort of put way down low and, had hoped about, but had never been able to dream about. So these are the things that I bring up, and things like you matter, your energy matters, your health matters, your hope matters, your love matters, your dreams matter, your desires matter, and your fulfillment matters. So that's the sort of things that we deep dive into over the 45 days. And because, right, I know how important it is for all of us to be able to revitalize our lives, I have purposely made it $1 a day investment so that you literally can deep dive into you for a total of $45. It's $1 a day. And over those 45 days, you'll be amazed at what happens because you will reconnect to you. You will revitalize your life. And that's what life is continually about. Thank you, Kerry, for commenting on that being a rewarding course. I enjoyed having you there, and I do appreciate you popping in to actually say that. But what it does is it really does assist you to know that you are the only person that you're going to spend your entire life with. So it is time for you to start to put you first, for you to start to realize that you matter, your hopes matter, your dreams matter, your aspirations matter, everything that you have maybe told, oh, why do you think that? Or why do you want to do that? Or what's all that about? This gives you the permission to actually go and get it because you are the only person you're going to spend your entire life with. So it's important for you to know that and to love that. And that's what, it's all about. It's about you reconnecting to you. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's little session where we have deep dived into the beautiful 4 of the 5 agreements, where we can literally, next week we're going to go into the 5th one. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I really love that. I'm not going to go much into it, obviously, because it's really important that we know that that's all for next week. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. In the world that we live in, I think we've got a lot of skepticism going on at the moment. I don't think it's a bad thing, to actually, seek to understand before you deep dive into anything. So that's it. Is there any more questions? Let me go back to the comments. I'd love to know. Thank you for being here, for the time. Is there anything else before I go? I would love to answer any questions if it comes back to any of the agreements or anything else that I've discussed today, even if it's the 3 cards, these beautiful cards by Marcia Quinton. Maybe I've just been drawn to just pick one at random. Oh, 54, empathetic. I'll put it right up there so you can see it. Empathetic. What does that one say? You are a powerful, empathetic healer. Feel the power flow through you as you reach into the deepest emotional areas of soul, healing the wounds that are not on the surface but buried deep within. You reach out with committed compassion and heal with a gentle touch, kind words, and eternal love. You are supportive and intuitive. When you slowly open the other wounds, you help to heal them, bringing back balance into their and your world. You have embraced the light of source as a gift, and divine healing powers flow through you. Reach out and touch someone who is in need. Do not deny your divine gifts to any soul in this world. This is as much for me as it is for you, and it's really important for you to understand that. Anything that I've shared today is as much for you as it is for me. So know that as you go about your day, always doing your best, no matter how you feel, realizing that you are doing your best, so that there's no need for self-abuse or for any regrets. It really is important that you know that you matter and your life is very important. So goodbye for now. I look forward to seeing you next week. And as always, make your life meaningful, memorable, and magical. Bye for now.